I come to you, spirits a bit low, for a review of the new Patrick Ta Major Glow Cream and Powder Light Reflecting Translucent Highlighter Duo. The spirits are low because I ran down, I made my order on Sephora, ran down today, the doorbell rang, I got my package, opened it, and exploded all over me. So, this is the package that I got. 2 of the 3 that I ordered did come broken. These are an extremely soft, fragile powder, so I do recommend if you can purchase this in store versus online, it's a safer bet. No blame to anybody, it happens sometimes though. Sephora could just do a little more than throw two pieces of paper in the box. Anyways, but the review must go on. I spent like 20 minutes trying to clean up and press so that it can give you the swatches and everything, but I'm gonna be contacting Sephora and all of that. But just be warned, if you can pick this up in store and you have access to a Sephora, do it in store to ensure that you get yours in one piece, because these are $40 each. There were 5 shades at launch. I picked up 3. And this is interesting because it's a translucent highlighter duo. They are intentionally sheer, very translucent to let skin shine through. It's supposed to be one of those things where you subtly turn your face and there's the glow. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so you can get this on the Patrick Ta website or Sephora like I ordered myself. Listen to this. They wanted to let you know that this is going to be sheer. They aren't going to have anybody going, I don't see it. An intentionally translucent, versatile cream and powder highlighter duo that lets the skin shine through, infused with multifaceted pearls for an ultra refined, I'm going to be looking for that refined shimmer and dewy glow. Funny enough, the shade that's sold out right now is Baby, the pink one, and that's the one that came in one piece, thank goodness. But it's in his beloved half cream, half powder packaging with the little screen that is just genius. And I love the blushes so much. I've had some days where I didn't love his cream blush formulas. I feel like sometimes they're a little bit more waxy or like Vaseline-y. Those are opposite. They're a little bit too Vaseline-y for me sometimes, to where I feel like it breaks up underneath. My makeup is half done to see. I don't know how much pigment and whatnot these are going to have. So these guys are made in the USA with global parts and has a 12-month shelf life. Let's take a look at the colors. This is the one I was probably the most excited about. This is My Love. This is the one that came a mess though, unfortunately, so I'm not able to get a good angle on this, but I pressed in as much as I could, but it doesn't really feel secure. I just need a new one. But here's what the powder looks like. And I've got to be honest, I think some of the powder is running through the cream just because there was so much on it. But it does have that kind of wettish feel to it, a little bit more slick. Balmy is the word I'm looking for. It has more of a balmy consistency to it, so that should give it that wet look. So we'll do cream first. Warning, this might have some extra shimmer particles from the fallen powder. And then here's the powder. So it is very translucent, but this is one of those products where it can make the skin look really wet and pretty. I also have sugar here. Now this one is a little less beaten up, but beaten up nonetheless. So let me show you. Oh, this one is really wet. Oh my gosh. I pressed way too hard. The thing is, if this sits outside, I think it warmed it up. It's hot out there. Oh, be careful about this. Ew. That didn't feel like the other one. It's like wet. Anyways, we'll see what the other one feels like. I don't typically like highlighters that feel like this in terms of cream. I mean, I pressed a little hard, but not that hard. And it's had some time to cool down from being outside. But if you pull this out from outside, be careful digging your fingers in. And then we have Baby, the sold out one, which is pink shimmer. So let's see. No, this one is not wet either. Just that one was really soft for some reason. Ooh, I think I'm gonna love this one. I wasn't sure if I could use this as blush. I'm not really getting that. These are very translucent. I'm gonna try and build it up. Which leads me to believe you probably don't need multiple shades of this, because swatch-wise, these aren't giving much, but I can tell these are a formula that are gonna give the oomph on the face. So there's a few different ways that you can use them. If you want a sheer dewy glow, apply the cream formula to the high points of the face. And then if you want higher impact shimmer, sweep the powder along the cheekbones. But then if you want to do the way that Patrick Ta likes to do it, which is how I'm gonna try it today, layer the cream formula over the powder. So we'll do it how the master does it. Start off with the powder, baby. A little bit of kick back here. Okay, I don't have any blush on. So here's what the powder is gonna look like on its own. Now in baby, I noticed this in the swatch too. It pulls almost more white than it does pink. I don't have any powder on my face, so keep that in mind. There's a little bit of glimmer that I'm seeing. It's not looking like the most smoothing, but it does give that really pretty subtle highlight, and it's so lightweight in consistency. It feels very easy to work out. Okay, let's go in with a little bit of the highlight cream. And from what I'm seeing, this isn't messing up anything underneath, which is fantastic. This I feel like would be really pretty for a no makeup day, especially the cream formula, just to make the cheeks look a little bit wet when you turn your face. But how are we feeling about that? You're not going to get a cast with this, which is really nice, unless you buy like the darkest shade and you have the lightest skin tone. No cast is happening with this, just a really natural dew. I feel like the cream shade would look really pretty almost all over the cheek, if that's the look you're going for. Okay, so I did powder first, then cream on this side. It didn't break up anything underneath. It didn't act funny, so I'm happy with that. But it is a more subtle glow, so keep that in mind. Let's see how we act over a little bit of powder. And I'm not going to go crazy with it, but sometimes it just happens where you do your powder first, so you want to know if it's safe to put a cream over. So I'm just going to do a tiny bit of my Givenchy setting powder using a one size sponge. I'm just putting it over where I would normally put it, but still being mindful that I do have a cream going over top, and then I'm just on this side. This should flatten it a little bit. Yeah. So ideally it's going to work over the powder. I'm a little nervous about this because this one is more gloss-like. I don't know. It's just this one. Okay, I'm going to try and thin it out on the back of my hand. Okay, and then let's just press the cream alone here to see how that looks. I don't think it's messing up anything underneath, which is a relief, because a lot of dewy, balmy kind of consistencies like these tend to break up product underneath, especially if there's powder. That's not doing that. Ooh, I can see the wet look that gives. That's very, very pretty. And it didn't break up anything underneath, so that's great. I just can't get over, like, what happened here? Okay, let's get into the highlight now. Tap off the excess. And this should be the biggest impact here, because I'm layering the powder over top, so the powder should grab on. Oh no! Do you see that? That was not good. It got really clumpy and textured looking over here. It looks, that's not good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. That just ruined my makeup. It's either one or the other, or the way Patrick does it. Let me just see real quick on this side, since I already have the product on, where this is a beautiful application. I'm going to put a little bit more of the dew over top. And then Gonna go in with a little bit of the powder. See if it gets scaly and dry like that. It does. Don't do it that way. Oh my gosh. Do you see? Noted. We won't use it like that anymore because that made the skin look really, really textured. Don't put the cream first and then powder over top because, oh no! So that essentially messed up my makeup. I'm gonna take off the under eye makeup and we're gonna try it again with the last shade. For the last one, I popped concealer back on, a little bit of cream bronzer. I'm gonna use cream blush in the shade Not Too Much. Keeping it really light and natural because I want the highlights to do the talking. And the last one that I have is the really white, bright one. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of the cream. A little bit of the Givenchy. I just don't like applying under eye setting powder after I do my highlight because it takes away from the glow that I blended and it makes it look unblended as well because it will be a harsh stop from glow to matte. So it's unrealistic for me to not have my under eye set, so I'm going to use it as such. And I'll do the tiniest bit because these do seem to work really just fine over powder. I'm going to do a tiny bit of powder blush to set it over top, just like that, like slightly smacking myself in the face, which is a little bit of color, a kiss of color. Okay, this is my obliterated one, my love. So bear with me here. This is supposed to give like a diamondy kind of look. So I'm gonna go in with the powder first. Oh yeah, it's giving that Fenty Diamond Balm highlighter. Okay, so I'm gonna really blend her out good to make it look nice and wearable. This is the one that's gonna give that blinding kind of effect. That's really pretty. And then we'll just look up close first so you can see there is tiny, tiny, very fine glitter flecks in here. It's not gonna give a glazed look, really smooth. So keep that in mind, but that's with all three of these, so just know what you're in for with the powders. I think that gives it that extra oomph to it, but if that's not your jam, then this won't be your jam. Then we're gonna do a little bit of the cream right over top, Patrick style. And that does add an extra element to it, especially like when the sun will hit in real life, it will give it that wet look, not just like a powder highlight. And it's not affected by the powder or anything underneath. Okay, this one I like. Of all the three, this one is my favorite. It's the most impactful, but if you really do like a natural translucent highlight, the other ones are really good for that. Even Baby, surprisingly on my skin tone. I thought it almost could have been used as a blush by looking at it, but no, it's really gorgeous as a highlight. And again, no cast, and then boom. It's a look for sure. I think I like a really dewy, glazed, summer, wet, dripping look. I want to try again with Sugar since I tried it the way that it did not work the best. So I'm going to do powder first. You can see how the powder looks on its own as well. Oh, this one is very natural in my skin tone, almost a little bit golden. I like this powder on its own on my skin because no cast and then just an undetectable light to the face that you guys might like. Yeah, this shade on me, if you're my skin tone, this gives undetectable glow. Like this one, I feel like you kind of put all over. Ooh, I really like that powder. That's pretty. Okay, I don't know the globby mess. I'm just gonna put a little bit over top. Okay, it does add that little bit of a wet look. But here you can truly see this one is what I would describe as translucent on my skin tone. And that's really pretty for a no makeup look if you want to look like you're glowing from within. And then the lightest one here, my love, is more, think about for like an evening look. Oh, how pretty is that? But that's how we're looking. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. I have some interesting thoughts here about this. It was not the easiest video to get through, was it? So while finishing up my makeup, I've gone out, evaluated the highlight in different lightings, different settings, and I have some thoughts on these. I mean, first and foremost, there was a little bit of learning curve / experimentation for you guys, just getting to know the product. My number one thing, do not put cream first, then powder over. That completely destroyed the makeup underneath. So now that we know that, that's out of the way. They don't even recommend that you do that. That was just a me thing, how I typically like to do the order of those style of products. It doesn't work in this regard. Not gonna knock them for it. And I do think it works good just powder alone, just cream alone, or powder and then cream. I think the cream is impressive in that it does not get affected by powder. It really doesn't mess up anything underneath. Now, I wouldn't go in with the cream and like press hard and move it around because then you're asking for it to be messed up. But if you do light patting motions, that's not going to mess up anything that you have underneath. Biggest warning, if you order this online, be prepared. It might come broken. So if you can get it in store, I think that's the best way to do it. These are very sheer products. On my skin tone, if you're a match with me, sugar is going to be the best match for that most true to skin tone, completely translucent look. This one has grown on me when I went out. It looked really beautiful and wet, but natural because it's so translucent. So I think the key to this is finding the shade that will look the best on you and give you that true translucent glowy vibe here. If you don't like any glitter particles, you might not like this. They're very fine, very subtle, not anything that upsets me, but it doesn't give that completely smooth glaze, no glitter particle at all kind of look. If you want to go a little bit more glam, at least if you have a similar skin tone to me, my love is going to give that Fenty Diamond Balm kind of glow, very, very white. And I know Baby was sold out, but if you're my skin tone, it definitely works, don't get me wrong, but I actually like sugar better, and I didn't think that would be the case. Not a product I feel I need to own multiple of, and I do have a concern with the sugar as to why, in particular, this color had such a globby cream highlight. I've got to be honest, I don't like that. It's messy. I'm not going to reach for it because it's kind of a pain in the butt to use, as pretty as it is, even though it's my favorite color. The globbiness kind of gross to me. So let me know if it's just mine, because the other ones don't feel like that. So if it's just mine, no biggie. But that's a bit odd in behavior. I'm not in love with these, if you guys can't tell. They're not going to be my go-to highlighter. I just like a good, easy-to-use powder highlighter. But I will say he did hit the nail on the head with this translucent, wet, dewy glow. But it took a little bit of practice. So you guys let me know what you think about this product. Do you like it? Have you used it yet? I'm feeling my face. The cream has not set down, so it's going to be a little bit sticky. Your hair might stick to it, so that's something also to look out for. But I'm kind of in the middle about this product. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. But this might very well be your cup of tea. I'm just here to lay out the facts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you've tried these highlighters, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm really curious, did yours come broken? Did your sugar have a really wet, gooey, ooey cream in there? Are you loving it? Let me know. I'd love to hear it down below in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.